Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. I have been diligently working on my scrapbook slash photo album slash journal from my trip that I took to Ireland last month. And I'm doing something a little bit different this time. Usually I construct the journal, add the signatures, and then add pockets, tucks, embellishments. I'm doing something different this time. Because I don't know how many pictures or memorabilia I'm going to be putting into the journal, I don't know how big to construct the spine. So I'm doing all the signatures first, then I will construct the spine. It may be 2 inches, it may be 3 inches, it may be 4 inches. So I'm doing something different this time, and I think it's working out pretty well. This is the last signature I worked on, and I always use heavy cardstock or scrapbooking paper for my outside of my signature because it gives it a lot of stability. Now this is part of a handkerchief, and I'm going to show you on the inside in a little bit what I did with this, but I did just cut out the corner here, glued it down here, and then was able to make that into a tuck spot. It's an old vintage postcard, and I will be able to journal on there. This says Make Memories All Over the World, and I believe I picked that up years ago at Joann's. Now, when you open up that first page, there's the little cloth tuck spot with that handkerchief, and I'll be able to just slide a picture or something down in there. I embellished it with just a little bit of trim, a little floral trim. I made this envelope. This first part, we were in Clifton, Ireland. I just made a little flip envelope here, and I've got some receipts in there. And then this is a picture of me. It flips out, and then it shows 2 pictures of a stop we took that just shows like a little stream or river. And then we went on to Galway, Ireland. This is called the Kilmore Abbey, and isn't that exquisite? I'm just gonna just let your eyes feast on that for just a minute. This is a 5x7 picture. This is the only picture that I took where I had it that big. I just thought that was exquisite. This is some paper that I bought in Palo Alto, California, and it's just so pretty. This is where we stopped at. This is, like I said, Galway, Ireland. So we had already gone around there. This is my friend Christy Quick and her husband, Troy. They are the ones that organize these fantastic tours. I think I said I have been on 6 tours with them. They're just fantastic. Troy does an incredible job at organizing everything. 99.9% of the time, things run smoothly. Every once in a while, there's just a little bump in the road. But isn't that the way it is with traveling? So that's that page. Then we took a tour inside the Abbey, and they had it all set up. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. It maybe is a little bit of a glare, but that is just one of those tiny little forks. And it's got, it's silver, and then it's got this little jewel on the inside. This is the menu, and then the dining room. They had it set up to make it look like as if people were living there. This beautiful clock here. And what I did with some of these, I used my Stampin' Up dies, and I just used them to cut out the picture. Here is some, it's very faint, but there's some leaves back in there. And again, like I said, I just sewed a little bit of lace here. This was a map of the Victorian walled garden in the Abbey. Just beautiful. And this flips out. And what I did is, these are real dried leaves, and I just glued them to the page. I used washi tape to hinge the page. This was inside the garden, and this was a lot of fun. This was a little like toadstool hotel, and I have made something to put on that page, but I thought I would wait until I sew in the signatures, because sometimes it's a little bit difficult. This is a little charm that I made with a little butterfly, and that will just be attached there and will hang out the journal. And then these are, I believe, some Tim Holtz mushrooms. This says Insect Hotel, and again I put just a little bee there, butterfly, and a toadstool or mushrooms there, and attached a little bit of gold lace on that page. This was looking out on the garden, and this was funny. I found this, it's very, very old music paper, and that is my nickname from when I was a child, Nettie. So I stuck that in there. Again, this was in the garden, and these are some letter tiles that I bought from Patty Lang, who owns Sacred Mementos, and she does online selling, and I have bought so much stuff from her. If you need any kind of antique or vintage materials, make sure you check out her site. She's fantastic. I used a Stampin' Up border punch to cut that out. I made this little tag here. I had bought a keychain on this and then just glued a little paper there, put the shamrock there, added some Stampin' Up ribbon there. This was a little tag that I had made. At one point it was in my stash, and then I also made this wax seal, and it just slips down in there. This was inside the Abbey stained glass window. I had ordered a book that had Irish, the Irish language, and it was a religious book. I believe this is Psalm 139, 13 through 14. And this is the back page of that beautiful paper that I bought in Palo Alto. Here's just a couple of receipts here. Here's a picture of the Abbey up close. And it's just a little flip out here. I will add something here and probably do a little bit of stenciling there. This was a lemon tart that I bought, and oh my gosh, it was so good. I did a little bit of stitching on my sewing machine and put that little fabric piece there. And then this was a hotel we stayed in, I believe for 2 nights, and then it's just got a little receipt from the dinner. But anyway, that's one of the signatures. Now, I want to show you, I've been thinking about the cover. And I was gifted this beautiful old book cover. It's the front and back, and you can tell it's quite aged. I received this from Mare, over at, I think it's called Lilac Pages. Let me look just real quick, because you need to check out her channel. She's got a, yeah, Lilac Pages. She's fantastic, Mayor. She gifted this to me when she heard I was going to Ireland. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this, and it's going to lay over the top and be hinged. And then this is a little notebook that I bought also, and then it's going to be hinged. So it's going to have a flip out on the front, some kind of embellishment, another flip out, and then this will be the front page. And you can see this is quite damaged and old and dirty. And I had spent a long time with acetate trying to get the dirt off. And then I thought, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and start using some antique gold wax metallic finish to highlight the embossing. And as I was doing it, some of the dirt started coming up. Let me show you. With just a baby wipe. Now, I don't want to rub too hard because I don't want a lot of the paint or the color to come up, but I do want it to show a little bit better. That nice deep green. So just a baby wipe is taking a lot of that off. And I cannot believe, like I said, I had spent so much time with no, it was acetone, not acetate. Oh my gosh. I do that all the time, don't I? With those two words. But yeah, look at how that is just bringing that green back to a vibrant color. Now I want to keep just a little bit of it there, but let's see this, how this turns out. Because you can see, if you look real close, there's an image there, but it's difficult to see because there's so much dirt. And I think once I put that wax over the top, it's really gonna make it. Oh yeah, see, look at that. Isn't that, that is so fantastic how that, you're able to see that. That is just bringing that, it's bringing up some of the paint, but it's also bringing up a lot of the dirt. So that's a little hint for you guys. Just try a baby wipe to try to get some of the dirt off one of your old book covers if you need to, because like I said, I really wanted to see this image here. It says the history of Ireland. Yeah, much better. Okay, I'm gonna set this back over here, and I love the way that gilding wax looks over it. So I finished up my work week. It was a very good work week. I had a delightful little labor patient. So yeah, this I bought at Hobby Lobby. It's called Antique Gold, and it's a wax metallic finish. And I'm just gonna take ever so slightly an amount and just run it over the embossing so you can see it. I wonder if it would be better if I used a brush. You know what? I'm going to try a brush and see what happens. Let me grab this off and see if some of that comes back up. I may be taking too much of that paint off. I'm going to try I think this brush, let's just see. I'm going to put a little bit of this on my silicone. Can you guys see? Silicone mat, Stampin' Up! Mat, and I'm just going to see if I can pick up a little bit. I don't know which is better, the finger technique or the brush. I think probably the finger technique, because I don't like the way that goes all the way down into that groove where the embossing is. See, I like that better. I'm glad I did the back first, because if it's not completely perfect, it'll be all right. There's going to be lots and lots of layers on this. So anyway, I had a fantastic work week. Also, my sister Sherry was here visiting, and I've told you before, she's a crafter. So she is really doing a lot of cross-stitching right now. So she sat and cross-stitched, and I worked on my journal, and we visited and laughed and went out to eat, and oh my gosh, we had the best time. I should be packing right now. I think my house is going to go on the market toward the end of June, and I'm just ignoring packing because I'd rather craft. Let me try to get a little bit of that up. Yeah, I like that better when it's not quite so much. So I thought I would just speed up the camera a little bit here as I continue to emboss the front cover of my journal with this metallic wax finish. Isn't that amazing that it brings out that embossing so well? And as I continue to work on it, you're going to see that front cover just come to life. It's just beautiful. Well, it is 112 degrees here today in Gilbert, Arizona, which is 44 degrees Celsius. I mean, it's just, and I say this every summer, it's brutal. It is so brutal here. And if my kids and grandkids didn't live here, I would not live here. Oh, take me back to Ireland where it was 60 degrees. Oh, that was so wonderful. And I have to start packing. I said that a while ago. But who wants to pack up a house when it's 112 degrees? The air conditioner is just running like day and night. But anyway, if you want to come over and help me pack up, I would welcome you. I'll even feed you. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I will see you guys next Monday. And as always, thanks for joining me. Bye.